Okay, today I'm going to talk briefly about the different uses of the kettlebell military press. There's actually 4 different ways that I teach at my workshops, and I teach my kettlebell workshops, beginner, intermediate, all over the US, Europe, going to India, South Africa this year, so it's really exciting. But there's 4 different styles I like to teach. One style emphasizes the triceps more. I'll demonstrate that first. And then the second style emphasizes the shoulders more so for people who want bigger shoulders, tighter shoulder emphasis. And the third style brings in the pecs more, kind of a hybrid exercise where it's similar to the incline press, that you would do dumbbell incline press. And then the final one is for the best performance. This is the most fluid, efficient way to get the bells from point A to point B. So it's the one I use the most because I don't really care about all the aesthetics that can come from various military presses. I focus on performance. Okay, so with the first one, the tricep emphasis, what we're going to do is clean the bells and let them sit up higher. So notice how the bells are at chin level for me. And then I'm going to keep the elbows in close, stand up straight, press, and keep them in a straight line. Okay, so that's the tricep military press. Where be at? Come over here. Come over here. Come on. Real quick, take a look at my yellow lab. Look at my older clips on YouTube. She used to be a real lardy dog, and now she's nice and lean. Looks great. You can see her ribs, waist goes in, and she's around 11 years old, so she's doing fantastic. The aggressive strength program works for dogs too. All right, buddy, come over here real quick. Sit, sit, sit. Shake hands. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, cutie. All right, so get out of the way, buddy. Get out of the way. Thank you, thank you. All right, so we went over the tricep one, and again, that's elbows in close, and the bells are going to be sitting up high, so they're actually going to be at chin level or above. So you're initiating from there. Don't let the bells go out wide. Keep them in that straight line. That's what's really going to emphasize the triceps. So it's a good exercise to do if this is your sticking point, where you have a hard time blasting through the middle point to the lockout. This is a good one to throw in your routine. I like to do it every once in a while for that purpose. Okay, next we're going to focus on the shoulder emphasis. So now I'm going to open up wide. Stand up straight. Open up wide. Bring the bells just below the chin. And open up wide on each rep. Now, the further the bells get away from you, the more the shoulders have to come in and really stabilize. So for those of you that want, again, bigger shoulders, or you want to focus on increasing strength there, that's fine as well. Now, I will say that this is the one that's most likely to lead to shoulder strain, shoulder injury. Shoulders are weak muscles, so in my opinion, we don't want to rely on them that much when we do any kind of pressing. Ideally, we just want to pack the shoulders in, rely on the lats, triceps, other muscle groups to get the weights from point A to point B. But it's all about personal preference. It's about what you're focusing on, and as a trainer, when people come to me with goals, I'm going to respect those goals and help them out rather than have them just do what I do. A lot of trainers make the mistake of whatever program they're on is what they put all their clients on, even if what you're doing is irrelevant for your clients. Okay, next we're going to focus on the chest. So now, there aren't a lot of kettlebell exercises that really work the pecs well. You can do floor presses, but kettlebells are generally not heavy enough to be that beneficial. Even with double 105-pound kettlebells, that's only 210 pounds. And yeah, it's harder with an independent object in each side, but if you can bench press 300 pounds, then anything you do with kettlebells for a floor press is going to be a joke, so it's not even worth your time. So if you're weak in that motion, meaning you can't barbell bench press 200 pounds, if you're a guy and you can't at least barbell bench press 225, then you're weak in that exercise, and you may find that kettlebell floor presses are challenging, and you can throw it in your routine and work on it. But if you really want to develop strong line pressing power, bench press, floor press with a barbell is definitely the way to go, or heavy dumbbells because they go up much higher if you're at the right gym. Okay, so anyway, that said, with the chest emphasis military press, what we're going to do now is sit back. So I'm going to push the legs forward and sit back. The legs are going to be in front of the weight. And then I'm going to press out instead of pressing straight up and behind. Press right out. So lockout's going to be right here. For those of you that have strong pecs, you'll find that you're really strong in this variation. In fact, you may be stronger in this variation than any of the others. I know I am. I've worked up to pressing double 97s with this variation where you sit back and press out. We'll talk about some of the potential negatives of it too, but let me demonstrate it real quick. Okay, so with this one, we're going to clean, sit back, let the bells really sink in, and then press out. Or press out. Grover. Grover, come here. Come here. Grover! Get over here. Making me look bad in front of my audience. Come here. Grover, come here. You see, my dogs are very obedient. Grover! Get over here. No more barking. You gotta be well behaved, like Mia. Okay. Wait for this tractor to go by. Oh, you see the neighborhood's here. I was hoping it would be colder so we don't have all this foot traffic and driving, but hey, it's 75 degrees out here today in January. Alright, so with the upper body, with the military press where it's, or I should say the overhead press where we're pressing, it's right in front of the head, so we're not pressing out here. That would just be dumb. That's going to cause a lot of injury and lower back strain. But we're pressing in front of the face rather than locking out right behind the head. Again, this allows you to bring in your pecs to the equation. So you're bringing in more muscle groups. The more muscle groups you can bring in, the stronger you're going to be. With this one, I like to look up as the bells go overhead. With other variations, like the one I'm about to do next, I tend to look forward. Okay, now let's talk about the best one for performance. I'm actually going to go a little heavier to illustrate this point further. So I was using 62-pound kettlebells, just a demo. Now I'm going to go up to 79s, which is not super heavy for me, but it's heavy enough that I have to be focused when I do it. Now, this is the variation that I've been working on the most. I spent a lot of time working with Mark Philippi, strongman legend, last year, and he emphasized when you do overhead pressing, you want to press and then act as if you're trying to put your head through the window, like you're opening a window and sticking your head out. Because you want to get the weight over your center of mass so your entire body is supporting the weight overhead. Don't even think about barking again. Now with that chest variation military press, while you can go really heavy, you're going to have a hard time doing lots of repetitions because you never really get a break. When you lock it out over here, you're still working to keep the bells fixated. When you lock out behind the head, your entire body is supporting it more. So that chest variation overhead press is more so for very heavy weights, lower repetitions. Now this one is going to be for the best performance. So you're going to be able to go the heaviest with this variation as well as work up to the highest reps. So this is the most efficient way to go. Okay, I'm going to get a good clean. Really let the bell sit down. Lock it out overhead. Zero negative drop. Okay, so with this variation, I'm going to open up just a little bit to get the bells going and bring in the lats. When I stay in here, it's more chest, more triceps. Grover, knock it off, buddy. See, this is the bad side of Grover's behavior that you haven't seen. I bet you guys thought he was such a well-behaved dog. This is what I have to deal with each day when I'm trying to get work done. Quiet. So with this variation, we're going to lock out in line with the head so the entire body is supporting it right overhead. So play around with each variation. If you're looking for the best performance, the one you want to go with is the last one I just showed. Very efficient. I don't use any tension at all, so I'm very relaxed when I do this exercise. I don't tense up. When you tense up, your heart rate goes up, you're building up more lactic acid, you're not going to be able to perform at a high level. You're not going to be able to do as many reps or be able to go as heavy as you can. Just take a look at a clip of Valery Fedorenko. A guy weighs 175 pounds. He can military press, not push press or jerk, military press, meaning no leg movement, 105-pound kettlebell 30 times with each arm. Show me anyone who uses really high tension methods that can even do half that number. He's not even going to come close, and at that body weight. 175 pounds, 105 for 30. Now, that's the way to get the best performance. So it's all about what your goals are. If aesthetics are your goals, triceps, you want to build the pecs, shoulders, use the other variations I went over. If performance is your number one goal, focus on the last one. Final tip, and then I'm going to cut off, is you always want to grip the kettlebell where the handle lands at a 45-degree angle. You don't want to hold it like a dumbbell. This is then an obvious way for us to determine whether someone has a lot of experience working with the best kettlebell people out there, or if they're stuck in one school of thought. If you grab it like a dumbbell, then you really haven't taken the time to learn from the best out there. 45-degree angle, let it sit low, and now what happens is there's receptors in my palm which connect to my central nervous system, and I'm going to have a much more efficient press. And I don't have to worry about the bell cocking out. It's going to sit right where I want it the entire time. It's not going to pull out. All right, so there's some fun variations. If you have more questions, check out my website, MikeMahler.com. Pick up one of my videos, sign up for one of my courses. You'll have a great time.